Good morning, everyone. You think I forgot about you? You think I forgot to have a podcast to do on Wednesday/Thursday morning? Of course not. Welcome back to the most controversial, most highly rated, most highly entertaining podcast show in the world in my mind. Welcome to the Walker AC Experience. I am your host, Walker AC, otherwise known as Adrian, otherwise known as Henry the Fox, back in those classic days of this podcast when I first started, back in the Henry podcast experience show and the Slacking Majestically show. This is now the Walker AC Experience, the experience of a lifetime, once again in my head. Thank you for joining us as always. I'd like to give a special shout out to Podbean.com for hosting this atrocity known as a podcast that a few of you like, a few of you listen to, a few of you download, a few of you give me some feedback, and I appreciate that as always. But of course, first things first, how are you? Are you doing okay? Are you doing something nice for yourself? Have you woke up this morning feeling good? Have you accomplished something during today? Have you accomplished something small? Woke up, had a good breakfast, told someone you love them, treat someone properly, treat yourself good. Because once again, folks, you are important. You are what matters, and don't forget that. In this life, in this crazy world we live in, all the craziness, all the drama that goes on in this life, do not forget you need to take care of you. You need to do something nice for you, and don't be surprised. There are many more people out there in this world that care about you. Don't believe me? Just ask me, and I'll tell you to your face that I care about you, and then I want to listen to you, and I'm here for you, no matter what you think, no matter what your perception of me is, no matter how you feel about me as a person or know me as a person. I actually care. Give me a chance, let me in, I shall listen. SlackingMajestically01 at yahoo.com. That's SlackingMajestically01 at yahoo.com. Or hell, drop a comment here on this wonderful show, and we will get back to you. This is what we do here. Now, today we're going to take a little bit of a different route today. Because as always, as I say on every single podcast I do, I keep everything pleasant, I keep everything upbeat, I keep everything uplifting. But occasionally you have to turn to the ugly side of you. You have to vent and let go of that frustration, because it builds up, folks. This is why we have an outlet in our world. This is why we talk to our significant others, we talk to our pets, we talk to husbands, wives, children, sisters, brothers, mothers about everything, because you cannot hold in what's ailing you. You can't hold in what's bothering you. You cannot do it because it's not healthy. And this is why the old phrase of all it takes is one bad day. One bad day can change the course of somebody's life. One bad day can land a person in jail. One bad day can set the tone to put wheels in motion that will affect the world, that will affect a family, that will affect a large group of people. Because once again, mental health is really important, and those of you who are afraid to seek it, there's always somebody out there to talk to you. And this is why I'm taking it today, just to really let loose a little bit, to really dump things out, because the Walker AC Experience is many of things, mainly positivity until it makes you vomit. But positivity does have a slightly spins, because the path to happiness is never in a straight line. You will bump into a few trees, climb over a few walls, go through a little bit of landmines to find that happiness within yourself. Remember, it doesn't take someone to make you happy. It takes you to make you happy. And most people confuse that nowadays, because this is why we have some relationships out there that are based off of one person making another person happy, or one person seeking happiness, or one person clamoring for that happiness and not stopping to think that I have to be happy within me first before I can find happiness with somebody else. True words have never been spoken. This is why the Walker AC Experience is here. For all of you who listen, all the little parts of you that delve into this little bitty show, just a little bit of wit and wisdom and enlightenment, a little bit of giggling here and there, and just what we provide. Now, my emptying out my pot of anxiety and frustration and anger, because yes, yours truly does have a few loose screws, and that does allow life to get to him occasionally, has to find an outlet for that. And I've come to realize at my wonderful age of 43 that sometimes I really can't relate with anyone anymore. Now, what do you mean by that? No, I can't relate when it comes to music or fashion. No. I just can't relate to people nowadays, because it's really hard. to reach out to new people and to talk to new people and express yourselves to new people, because they don't know your sense of humor, they don't know where you come from, your background, how you handle certain situations, how you view certain situations. And I guess I'm so jaded when it comes to my brand of humor and how I carry myself, that when it comes to the common human being, I know I'm painting with a broad brush here, but once again, these are just my opinions based on my life. So it's okay to disagree, that's no problem. But I have a hard time connecting with the outside world now, because I guess I've let the past and life, turn me into something that is different. Judging by the way that I've had my podcast over the year plus, I'm not your typical average guy with the average personality and in the average vernacular. I've definitely looked at myself in a different way, I've carried myself in a different way, and those who are in my limited circle see me in a different way, and they know that I branch out and put myself out there for other people to get to know. It's hard to make that connection because I guess I've sheltered myself in my castle for so long that I assume that most people will lighten up and have my sense of humor, have my different viewpoints on life and how I see things. And I noticed that's far from the case, which made my loathing for people just more and more deep, I guess. I guess I'm an elitist snob when it comes to meeting new people or opening up or just letting people in, because I have such a very askew view on life and life's expectations and how things are, because I don't get angry with people, because I don't have jealousy, or because I don't have misery, or I don't have a certain thing that most people have. When it comes to certain things like when it comes to viewpoints on life and love and relationships, and view how people take things so seriously, and that how I choose not to take things seriously, and people misconstrue that as me not caring. And that is definitely far from the case. I care about a lot of things. I care way too much. This is why I don't let certain things go, certain people go, certain situations go, because I smoke the hopium, and I want to push that rock up that hill to make sure that people really understand me and really see my point. And even if it means being in the same situation repetitively, just over and over and over again, to make sure they see that point, this is what I'm going to do, to the point of just driving myself insane. Hence, to being diagnosed depression and all that fun stuff. That's why I always put the message out there, because you have to talk. You really have to talk. No matter what goes on in your life, you're going to have to talk, because you can't hold it all in or you will explode. Not in a literal sense, but mentally you will explode. And with saying that, I try to talk to the common person. I feel myself getting nauseous when I talk to the common person, because I just can't relate. I can't relate to their trials and tribulations that I think are just meaningless and minuscule in the whole viewpoint of life. I can't watch TV and see the heavily produced reality shows and think that's real life to some people. Or I can't watch a talk show because people think that's real life. Or I can't watch a movie or a television show because that's people's perception of real life. My perception of real life is very different. It's very humble, it's very plain, it's very just simple. And I guess this is why that my inner circle is so small, and I'm not able to really branch out there. Now, I know it's my fault. It's my fault that I can't branch out and meet new people or experience different things with people, because I can't relate to the common person. I can't relate to their plight. I can't relate to their struggle. I can't relate to the simplistic things that I look at and I always wonder, why do you fret over the little things? Why do you get upset over the little things? Why do you let the little things bother you? Why do you find yourself exploding 15 times a day when something doesn't go your way? I don't understand that, and it's really hard arguing emotion with logic, because you can't do it. You can't tell the common person to calm down and look at the simple things. You can't tell a simple person that don't get upset over this because you're alive. You woke up this morning. You've experienced a smile. You've had an impact on someone's life just by saying hi. But most people don't look at the big picture. And that's something that really bothers me as a human being. Being 43 years old, I've definitely experienced a lot in my time, and by no means I'm an intelligent person. I am not. I am Schmucky the Clown with a microphone that spouts his verbal effluvia to all of you that choose to listen to me. And I sit back and I just look and just stare at people when they talk. Because sometimes, and most of you can relate to, when you're talking to someone and you look at them and you figure, how did you wake up this morning without jabbing something in your eyeball? How can you function on a day-to-day basis? How can you remember to breathe? More or less drive a car, more or less write a document, more or less sign your name to something, or figure out something so simple that you let frustrate you in such a way that it takes years off your life, that ages you with a quickness, that someone looks at you and think, oh my God, that's your age? No, you don't look like that. No, but you've let life get you to that certain point. And I try to help people, and as I stand on my soapbox here with a microphone in my hand, thinking that a lot of you are going to listen to this and maybe just think about it a little bit. But as I stand here on my soapbox, and I think that most people take life too seriously, just like people take life for granted, just like people take people for granted. They take relationships for granted. They take love for granted. They take reliability for granted. They take friends for granted. And I take friendship very seriously. I take extremely seriously because it takes a lot to let someone into my life, to let someone into the life of Walker AC, into his mental castle, his physical castle. It takes a lot for him to open up. And then once that's broken, I will try to continually push that rock up the proverbial hill to try to make that connection, to try to make that person, them people, everyone see that it's worth it for that line of communication, to say that, hey, it's not that bad. Life isn't that bad. The situation you're in isn't that bad. The old adage, it's going to get worse before it gets better. I don't believe in that. I've been up and down, back and forth, home to home. I've been everywhere in my life, and I've always maintained the same positive attitude. If something is going to happen to me, 9 times out of 10, it's my fault. I won't lie. I'm not a perfect person, by no means. I've made dumb mistakes, tremendous mistakes, humongous mistakes. I've alienated people, made people angry, shunned people away, walked away from people. Not the first time, not the last time, but I choose not to want to walk away from people. Because the people in my life I work damn hard for, and they work damn hard for me. And I choose to keep them in my life no matter how much the rock falls off the hill and I have to run back down and try to push it up again. It's definitely worth it. I hate walking away. But sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to walk away. You have to feel appreciated in life. You have to feel appreciated and loved and wanted. Because once again, we are simple creatures. We just want the simple things in life. We want to be loved, appreciated, valued, and related. And that's one of my major problems. I can't relate. I value the people in my inner circle. And those who know me, they may disagree with me, and that's fine. That's your opinion and feelings. I cannot make you see what I see. I can't make you understand what I understand. I know the sky is blue, but if you know it's purple, I can't tell you anything else other than, well, that's great. That's wonderful for you. But I also I really try to hold on to ones that are close to me. I really, really do. And as far as, like I mentioned before, branching out and meeting new people, making new friends, making new allies, I just can't relate anymore. And I have turned into that curmudgeonly old man that is set in his ways. That's something that I feared the most. And watching my mother turn into, and having her stuck in her ways, and having her sit on her couch and just enjoy herself. And sometimes that makes me sad. I envy the fact that she can sit on her couch, look at her newspaper, watch her TV, and just enjoy being alone. For the longest time, I never understood that. For the longest time, I've always craved for that affection and wanting somebody to be by my side and share what I share, listen to my boring stories, laugh at my stupid jokes, pretend to love my experiences that I've been through. And the more I look at my mother, the more I can relate to the fact that being alone isn't all that bad. Having somebody by your side is a tremendous thing. But needing somebody by your side is a whole other different story. It all goes back to self-love. Which definitely I'm straying off the point here, because now with the Henry a podcast experience back then, it was all kind of willy-nilly. But the Walker AC experience, I try to have format, try to have drive, try not to have a mishmash, a hodgepodge, and all that fun stuff of topics. So we try to keep you online here. But it all goes back to, once again, just finding a human connection, which I don't think I'm able to do anymore. And it's kind of scary now. But it's something I really have to relate to. Really have something I have to, to really come to terms with and come to grips with. I really have to diversify my portfolio. In other words, I really have to weed out the wonders in my life. The people that want to be part of my life. The people that strive to be part of my life. Not the ones that are just there for the free meal, for the free ride, for, the free room and board, the proverbial free room and board. I need to have people in my life that I actually look at and pick up the pieces and help them pick up the pieces while they help me pick up my pieces. And for those who are in my life, I really do appreciate you. And those of you who choose to be in my life, that is a tremendous thing, because you don't have to be. No one has to be in anyone's life. No one has to help anybody up when they fall. No one has to do anything for them, because we're all individuals. We all are selfish creatures. We all have to look out for number one. This is what we do. In the movies and television and news, we're always urged to help out, your fellow human being. But as it boils down in the end, all you have is you, or your children, or your dog. And that's all you have. You have to make the most of that. You have to make tough decisions for the ones that remain in your life, the ones you have to hit the proverbial block on. And it's not an easy choice. It's very not an easy choice. But as I get older, and as I look around, and as I shorten my circle of friends, my loved ones, the ones that are important to me, I really have to make the tough decisions on whether or not I choose to relate to the ones that are still in my life, or choose to expand out there and find others who can relate to me on a different level. And it's different, folks. It's truly different. The ones that I have in my life right now, my loved ones, my friends, my family, I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. All I ask in return is to have an open mind, to look at both sides of the coin, and to look at where people have been and what they've done, and take a look in the mirror, and take a look at life, and realize that life is not that difficult. Realize that people that are in your life for a reason, and they mean something to you. Because in the end, when the curtain closes, are you going to look back at the ones who meant something to you and touched your lives, or are you going to look at the ones who you felt that didn't? The ones you felt that have used you, the ones you have felt that have done nothing for you, that you still kept around. That's a difficult pill to swallow. That's a pill that I have to swallow eventually, because I have to step back. I have to really, really evaluate what's important to me now and who are important to me now. I cling on to a lot. I hold on to a lot. This is why I do a show. I won't lie. I do a show for attention. I do a show for admiration. I do a show to be recognized, to make a little difference in the world. This is what I do. And this is what the Walker AC Experience and the Slacking Majestically show does. Now, will I take hiatuses here and there? Absolutely. Yes, I will. But don't forget, I do this show for you. All of you. Every single one of you that chooses to hit that like button, that download button, that play button, I appreciate all of you. And when all else fails, look in that mirror and love yourself, and look at those around you that actually love you. And not the ones that give you things when you need them. The actual people that love you. The actual people that have been with you through thick and thin. The ones that have listened to your cries and your pouts and your woes and your fears. Those are the kind of people that you want to hang out with, versus looking out at the new ones to just want the outer you. The outer you, and not the inside of you. These are just my opinions. Feel free to always rebut, talk, argue, do something. The main thing is let your voice be heard, because you matter. People worry about you. People are concerned about you. Don't turn them away. Open up your mouth and talk. That's all I ask for. That's all I ask for in this week's the Walker AC Experience. And like I said before, my Slacking Majestically partner, I'm always ready when you are, and we're always here to listen. I thank you for taking the time to listen to this wonderful mishmash of a show. Always feel to reach out and talk and subscribe and comment. When all this fails, you have you. and you are the most important person in this world. Do not forget that. If you do forget that, don't worry. I will tell you that you are. Good night and goodbye.